Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I want to go ahead and do a video today on what I'm anticipating to be a big move in Bitcoin, okay? So looking at our Bitcoin charts here, we have the weekly chart set up here. And so one thing I want you guys to notice is the fact that Bitcoin barely spends any time at all moving sideways, or at least it hasn't in the last 6 or 7 or 8 months. So anytime you can see here that Bitcoin has moved sideways, it's usually precipitating either a move to the upside, a big move to the upside, or a big move to the downside. And even if I walk this chart back a little bit, we can see also some sideways action happen here earlier this year at around January. But we're going to concentrate in just the last 6 or 7 months. And I'm going to first talk to you about this move here in May. We saw here a couple of weeks, almost about a month or so, Bitcoin moving sideways, bouncing between these two price levels, and then we see a collapse in the Bitcoin price, and that was the June collapse, okay? And then after the June collapse, what we saw was a couple of weeks, again, moving sideways, and then we saw a big rally in the Bitcoin price that was shut down. All right, now in September, we see a little bit longer of sideways action. And in this case, it was about a month and a half or so in which, again, moved sideways from one end of the range to the other end of the range. And that precipitated another big collapse in the Bitcoin price. So right now, we are right in the middle of another sideways consolidation period. Now, this sideways consolidation period could probably last anywhere from 3 weeks to 1.5 months, judging by what we've seen here as the current pattern. And as we've looked at the previous patterns here, we can see that you have of the four big moves, one was a move to the upside, and the other 3 were drops. So it's entirely possible this move is also going to be another drop. But again, it's not 100% guaranteed or anything like that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's going to be a big move to the upside now, but there is some very interesting information that I want to present you first. So first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the funding rate, right? And the funding rate here in the middle is going to give us an idea of if longs are in control or if shorts are in control. And right now, Bitcoin shorts are in control, judging by the negative funding rates, okay? Now below that, we have the aggregated open interest. I've talked about this before on this channel, but it's been a little while since I've looked at the aggregated open interest. But just know that what you're looking at here are essentially futures and perpetual contracts, both for the funding rate and for the open interest. And as this goes up, you're having more contracts enter into the system. So you have the higher the number is, the more contracts you have. It kind of works a little bit like volume. So with the open interest going up here, we can see that usually when it moves up, you see some volatility in the price of Bitcoin, and it's starting to move up a little bit. This is the daily that I have up here. So what that's telling me is that you have shorts that are dominant, and then on top of that, you have an increasing short position right now for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's the snapshot over, I'd say, about the last week or so. Now, the reason why this is important is because if we look at the Bitcoin exchange reserve, which is something I've been paying attention to a lot lately, we can see that Bitcoin has been exiting the exchanges at a rapid pace, okay? And so what this means in functional terms is that if there are enough buyers, the price of Bitcoin can surge rapidly because there's just not enough coins on the exchange right now to fulfill big buy orders, all right? There's not really a lot of buying demand right now, I'd say in the last week or so, but if it surges in the future, we can go ahead and expect that it's probably going to have a big impact on the price. I also want to go ahead and take a look at the options as well. I go over here to Durabit, and then we go check the Bitcoin options, and usually I like to go over here and take a look at the Bitcoin options open interest, right? We looked at the futures and perpetual contracts open interest. Now we're doing options, and these are kind of separated by calls and puts. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that you have expirations on the 18th of November, which is tomorrow. Okay, that's a pretty decent amount, right? But then you look at the 25th of November, which is an even larger amount of calls and put options expiring on the 25th. Okay, now this doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be huge volatility on the 25th of November, but what it does mean is that from now until the 25th of November, so what this means is that you can see more volatility as the day approaches when the options expire, and you could see more volatility as those options are exercised. So that's one thing I also want to keep in. I want you to keep in mind. But then we also take a look at the 30th of December, right, the end of the year, and we see the largest bar here of call and put options that are going to expire on the 30th of December, and I think, judging by this chart, that means that within the next month or month and a half, we could see massive Bitcoin volatility hit the sector, okay? So either a gigantic move to the upside or a gigantic move to the downside. And the thing that really complicates the problem is that you have increased contagion and fallout from FTX and the FTX community and other crypto firms that may have money with FTX. And so that could also trigger another rapid sell. But either way, we have huge open interest here with options, and we're going to see increased volatility. And if you guys want to go ahead and check this out, you can always go over here to metrics at durybit.com. All right, definitely recommend you check this out. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you about is how I'm playing this. Okay, I am continuing my DCA plan. This has not really affected me one way or another. I just want you guys to brace for short-term or near-term volatility. I think that we're going to wind up seeing a big move to the upside or a big move to the downside within the next month and a half or so. Again, looking at these measurements here, and we take a look at the open interest by expiration, we're going to see some big moves in Bitcoin before then. Okay, now I really think that by the time we're at the end of the year, we'll have a good idea if the Bitcoin price has bottomed, if the bear market is the bear market low is already in, but it's not a guarantee. I just think that personally, by the time the year ends, we'll have a better understanding of the whole situation. I will continue to DCA buy, and I will continue to look to the future and not the near term. This near term volatility to me does not matter as much as the long-term price action, which is still very bullish. I'm also going to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has been trading within the range. It's still moving sideways, and it's still stuck right in the middle of this sideways channel. We haven't really seen a lot of action for Ethereum. It has not gone up or down in a big way, and it seems like it's pretty set on just moving sideways for a little bit. Now, when Bitcoin does make that big move, Ethereum is definitely going to follow it. And because Ethereum is more volatile, it'll definitely move higher or move lower compared to Bitcoin. But for now, we're probably stuck in some sideways price action. Now, for our Binance coin is really hanging on to this support level here at 262. If this support level gets taken out, then again, you're going to go much lower than it is currently. So this level right here, I would not be surprised if this level gets taken out within the next week or so. So that's something definitely to watch out for this. RSI for our Binance coin, however, is not super high. It's only at 41, but then again, it's not super low either. So it could definitely go either way. And as for Binance coin, I do think it's more likely that it heads lower from here. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you enjoy this content, please let me know. Check me out on Twitter. Leave a comment in the video. Something you guys want me to take a look at. I would definitely appreciate a heads up or comment or a follow on Twitter. All right. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night.